New World Order, you underestimated the people. You took a gamble and you lost.
Okay, we don't like this. Okay, well then we're going to do this. And that is just how it's going to be.
Evidence brought to light that there is a corrupt officer, or that officer did shoot that kid on purpose.
I don't care how I look, I don't care how I sound, I don't care what the beat is. I just care the message gets across.
What's up, everyone? This is Tinman with the Resistance.
And I'm Lucid.
This is your weekly report with TWBRN. If you're watching this, you're all the Resistance and all that fun shit. Today, we got a special guest celebrity. And I'm not just talking about a wannabe celebrity. I'm talking actual fucking celebrity. Vegas superstar Christopher Cardilo.
Wow, what an introduction. Yeah, thank you, bro.
And just because there is no room on this tiny itty bitty couch for all this stardom here, I'm gonna go ahead and step off camera here. I will be here and we will be talking and discussing things, but I'm gonna be actually off camera, so
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Your show is nice. Keep it over a little bit.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
And so, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Wow, that's quite a... I have had a rather amazing life at this point, and I want to continue that for sure. It's going to get even more crazy, more exciting. I actually have a few producers that want to write. They want to write a biography on me. They want to produce a movie about me, and they want to turn it into a screenplay. So they want to make. I told them as long as they can bring. I want Tom Cruise to play me.
Oh,
Or Johnny
snap.
Depp.
Snap. There you
What do
go.
you think?
Tom Cruise? Why not?
I mean, you might as well get the best.
Might as well get that.
Or
But-
Daniel Craig.
Maybe
You
Daniel
know,
Craig.
the 007 guy.
There you
I haven't
go.
even
That's...
seen stuff yet, have you?
I haven't. The new one?
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
it.
I'm thinking maybe Christopher Walken could play him.
Yeah.
God.
You look
Yeah.
a lot
Oh my
like
God.
Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's actually perfect.
Oh my God. You guys rock. These guys are geniuses, folks. I mean, I could not have met up with a better quality people, but precision, professional. Their backgrounds are amazing, both of them. I'd love to interview them, each one of them,
Yeah.
because they have an amazing story to tell like mine. And I think we have the dream team coming together. I'm going to announce right now on camera, welcome to the rockthismag.rocks studio. We are going to affiliate with every network out there, and we're going to shoot our show live in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot live in Hollywood, and we're going to shoot live here in Hesperia. And we're going to do this. We're going to have a 5-day-a-week show, 2 hours. We're going to bring on amazing people, amazing talent. It's going to be a mixing. We're innovational. We're technology-driven. So we don't want to be like anybody else. So when people ask me, well, what kind of show is it, Christopher? And I go, well, you know, it's like a balance, like a camel. It's a synthesis. It's like synthesizer of different shows. All the way back to like Johnny Carson, Ed Sullivan.
That's going way back.
Yeah. I mean, going way back to television when it first started. It was the sponsors that produced everything, paid for it.
Yeah, and you've got the TV show, you've got the magazine, Rock This Mag.
Yes, sir.
Vegas. Did I get that right?
Yes, it's rockthismag.rocks. It's THIZ. It means it's kind of a hip twist on instead of this, it's this. Then it's rockthismag.rocks means you're rocking a magazine with the most ultimate, highest level of content, the best premium content possible.
Yeah.
With the best of everything. I didn't ever do anything second.
And where's this magazine being distributed?
Oh, thank you for that question. What a great question. The launching of this is in Las Vegas, but actually it might actually happen simultaneously with Hollywood.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I'm working with you now. Lucy's working with you. We've got a few.
These guys are going to be Academy Award-winning directors.
Yep.
This gentleman here is Christopher Shelton. It's Christopher?
Yep.
This man.
Yep. Now I'm going to have people coming to my house to assassinate me. Thanks.
Yeah, we're going to have to bleep that out. It's good.
Yeah, it's classified. So anyway, this man is he's an executive film director. He's a total top-notch professional. He has credentials. This man rocks. This gentleman over here, I mean, this guy, what can I say? Patrick is he's like an amazing guy. His background, I can't wait to tell his story. This man is a superhero, a super patriot, a true American, and I love you. You're a true American.
Thank you.
You're a great American.
I appreciate that, man. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Both of them are.
It's good. It's good to get that notoriety on camera too from a third-party source, not just me and him bantering back and forth. Because I've caught a lot of flack lately in the political circles that we are in right now because of the Second Amendment rights and stuff like that we're advocating for.
Yeah, we get a lot of shit.
Yeah, we get a lot of shit.
What are you doing? It's like, well, here you go.
See,
what about you? Where's your repertoire?
I mean,
where's your resume?
these are true red-blooded Americans, the kind of Americans I want to know. Not the ones that bash Americans, say everything that's wrong with it. They can go suck, win, fast. I mean, that's what's the cancer in America. America needs to be great again, like Trump says. I believe in Trump. I think he's going to be president.
Hey, you got yourself a new best friend!
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Trump is the president in 2016. You watch.
Well,
he's our man. He's going to turn this country around. I want to interview him. There's a friend of mine, Peter Eliados, in Las Vegas. He's one of the most powerful people. Controls most of it. He's got an amazing story. Well, he said he could make it happen for me. I could get Trump not only on the cover of the magazine interview, but on a show.
Yeah,
on our shows.
Yeah, maybe we'll interview Trump at some point.
I would love that. He's all about that.
You know, that's why I like the idea of working with you as an executive film director. You know, we're going to do some crazy fucking things.
That's what I'm about, that line.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
We're going to be up in the ante on this. And
I'm just saying.
I've talked to some of the original six, and they're loving this idea. They are loving the expansion, the merger of Black Wasp Entertainment.
This is beautiful.
With
rockthismag.rocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a freaking powerhouse. And then
get ready to be super wealthy by the end of 2016. And a star.
Well,
hopefully we'll get an academy.
Wealth and fame isn't everything. I'm about
we're shooting for the stars, folks.
We are shooting for the stars, but for me, it's not so much about the money and the fame
but it
and
comes
whatnot.
with it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory, but
yes,
my goal is to try to make this world a better place.
Yes.
You know, that's
also my goal.
Yeah, that's all I care about, and I'll probably wind up using that money that I make to help people.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll live in a house like this, and I'll still be helping people. I don't care how fucking rich I am. I'll still be that's just another fucking resource.
Absolutely. I think that's a noble cause. That's a noble position. I'm right there behind him. We have a dream team. We have the dream team totally, and there are more people coming on board. I had to let a few people go already. But that's what happens in the business. I need serious players, hardworking people. If it's 18 hours a day, 20 hours, whatever it is, 32 hours, I'm down. This has been my life. That's why I'm here today. I just want to also give a shout out to My Vegas Magazine. Mark Schaefer and Candy Schaefer, thank you so much for all of your help. They throw the most awesome events. And Mark actually plays a single. He's really good. You wouldn't know you wouldn't know he's a publisher. You'd think he's an entertainer. And then he has a band, Mark Allen and the Crazy Cowboys. His magazine is, I've won Top 100 Influential Men Award 2 years in a row now. It's really boosted my career. I should have had it with me, but my executive producer, they are on a shoot location. They have all my material. So next time, I'll definitely pull it up and talk about it. But you can go online and see it. On their virtual site, myvegasmagazine.com. And
so you're really out there.
Yes, sir.
You're doing all these things, and you're from Vegas.
Yes.
You're a native to California, but you've lived in Vegas for a long while now.
Since '78. I've been there since 1978.
But you maintain your California residency.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes. I live 50% of the time in California, so I can keep my status.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant, you know. Anybody who lives out of state or wants to move out of state from their home state, you can do that.
Yes.
50-50 split.
Yes.
Maintain your residence. You don't have to pay all the fees and whatnot.
Tax bracket.
Yeah.
You know, taxes in California are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Nevada, they get you in a few places there, but it's overall better.
It is.
I also know the Global Economic Alliance. I met with them. The governor of Nevada, Brian Sandoval, excuse me. This gentleman set up 7 districts for the Global Economic Alliance. Now, one of the guys, they changed positions. I apologize sincerely. I can't remember the guy. I met with, jumping the gun, Barbara Coffey, who is the Economic Development and Redevelopment Director of Henderson City. We're going to do a lot of stuff with her. She's very excited that it will kick off in 16 right away, right after January, whatever.
Yeah.
15th or so, maybe even sooner. But they're committed, they want to do it. So we're going to produce shows. We're going to go out there and do all kinds of really fun stuff. We're going to put a studio over there in Henderson. And there's going to be a magazine version, the Henderson magazine. So I think I'm going to launch Las Vegas, Henderson, and Hollywood at the same time.
Nice.
We want Orlando, Florida, and New York and London. We have a gentleman in London, but it's not working out with his time frames. So I'm finding somebody else to take that over. And we also are working together with Ron Williams of the Williams Show live from Hollywood on the WCOBM network. I have a show on there as well, but it looks like
Cardilo Show.
The Cardilo Show live from Las Vegas on WCOBM.com. It's the site. My segments are pulled. They're fixing them. There's some problems with them. So you'll see that my name on the network, but you won't be able to see my content right now. But I do have it.
It is also featured on their YouTube channel, or their WCOBM YouTube.
Oh,
so
yeah.
And that's WCOBM, guys. So that there's no confusion on the title, because letters kind of run together when you're speaking them fast.
Yes, very good.
There will also be links in the description you guys can actually go to. We're going to plug all those links and stuff like that in the description at the bottom of this video. So,
nice.
Check the description for that.
I think great. Well, what WCOBM stands for is World Center of Broadcast Media. It was started by Gene Woods. He's a famous race car retired driver. He has a little place off of 121 East, Las Vegas. Sunset, and cross streets, Las Vegas, south.
Okay.
South and south. And so the network has grown exponentially. It's been around 8-9 months. In July they had 0 viewers. Now they say their demographics are 1,650,000 viewers. And
that's not bad.
Yeah. I was on Artist First Radio Network and just before this, and where there was a blowout with the 2 owners of the company where they fought over me and this other guy in London. And it was a wash where we came to terms and I left the show. So I want to get back on with Artist First Radio. If they are hearing this, you seriously need to put me back on. If you don't, I'm going to go to XM or somebody. I will, promise it. Maybe that's what I do. I'm a little indecisive at this point. Only because
you may be indecisive, but it seems like you don't bullshit around.
No.
You are on the ball. You know what you want.
Yes.
You know how to get it. And
Yes.
You make it happen.
Yes, sir.
And you say you've got a lot of contacts, especially in Vegas,
Yes,
and
sir.
politics up there.
Oh, yeah.
And you were mentioning some of the economics.
Oh, thank you.
What are the economics like in Vegas?
Wow.
I mean, you've lived there since the 70s. What is it like there now compared to when you first moved up there?
That's a great question. Well, I'm considering everything vintage Vegas. There's a talent out there there's Laura Schaefer, and she has Nightingale Noe, and it plays in the Piazza Lounge Monday nights from 8 to midnight, 8:30 to midnight, I believe. She's fabulous. She is totally. It's like you step back in the 70s and the 50s. Actually, she wears the long gloves and the hats and she's a beautiful woman.
Like the sun hats and all that?
Yeah. Just class act. She has a nice band. She works with Art Vargas. They do a show over at Ron DeCar's Event Center in Las Vegas. We're going to do events there. We're going to shoot there. I met Ron DeCar. Awesome guy. I mean, this guy is... You're stepping back into the class when they wore tuxedos to a casino.
Right.
People dressed up. That's when
it's
I
not
was...
like that anymore.
People go in sweatpants and tennis shoes.
It's
like ridiculous.
Yes, they wear almost like some of the girls are just wearing string bikinis in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I gotta go to Vegas more.
I know that's inspirational. Let me tell you. So
if that's not, I don't know what is.
I got
Let's talk about some of the economics.
So let me just say that. Having said that, when the mob ran Vegas, everybody knows. I met a lot of those guys.
I met some.
I also met Forrest Duke. Yes. And this gentleman he actually has quite a story about one.
Which we'll get into at a later date when he does my interview.
Yes, absolutely. And wow, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be. You got to tune in for that one for sure. Make sure you record it or archive this because that's gonna be history. Wait till you see what happens to YouTube guys. These guys are gonna be worldwide famous. They're gonna be superstars.
We're already famous.
I mean, you guys are famous.
Infamous.
Yeah, we're gonna go from famous to infamous.
Infamous, and then you're
Step
gonna
aside, Alex Jones.
step aside.
We're taking over.
Step aside. And so, so when I was there at the tail end, they just were crossing over from dressing up into casual.
Okay.
It was starting to go down the tubes, in a sense. And so it was the entertainment capital. There were 5-year contracts in every casino, major stars. That was the draw. Always worked. That was the formula, the magic of Vegas. I met Forrest Duke and Joe Delaney, famous entertainment columnist. My cousin was on the Forrest Duke show every week for a while. And so that's legendary, folks, because Delaney, he was embedded with Elvis Presley and the Rat Pack.
Nice.
That put him into stardom. He was like, all of a sudden he becomes an entertainment column writer for the Review Journal, I believe.
It's funny you mentioned the Rat Pack and stuff like that because like that's like my era right there. I love the way they dressed. I love that class. That class that they had, the swagger that they had.
Yes,
I love that.
Swagger. Yes, the swagger.
I feel like I was born in the wrong generation.
Right.
I really like that. I love Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Frank Sinatra, top notch dude. I mean,
the chairman of the board.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really sad that society has declined so much.
Oh.
And, especially in Vegas, it used to be really classy. And now it's just, it's still classy, but as you said, it's more casual, more laid back. People just kind of do whatever the hell they want. And
it's become a vacation place more than it has become a place of class.
And prestige.
Has
it lost its prestige?
Well, what happened was, I left the transition. In 1983, I broke up my act with my cousin. We left Vegas and went to San Diego, and then we went to Florida and a couple other places. But, our act got stale, and my cousin, unfortunately, sorry, Carol, but I was pretty much held back by her, I have to admit. And you could say that's your own fault. Well, I was 18, 19 years old when I was a headline act. We played all over the place. She had already been there since 1972. And it all happens when I meet my father for the first time. And so, subsequently, I meet my cousin. Then she says, hey, come. She meets me, comes down. We become pretty tight friends. She's my first cousin, first. And so then she invites me up to Vegas and says, hey, I'm playing bass guitar. I'm in all these bands. I just left tour, and I had nothing to do. And so it was a miracle I even met her because she's waiting at my mom's house, which I lived all over the place, I didn't either on tour, here or there, everywhere. So something told me to go to my mom's house. And when I do, she said she had been waiting for me and knew that I was going to show up. That was
creepy.
Amazing because she became a born-again Christian. And she said she'd prayed for me, and then she brought me to the Lord, actually. And so subsequently after that, she says, what are you going to do with your life? I'm a bass player. I play guitar and rhythm and keyboard. So my main instrument is bass because it gets you in the band like that if you want. But so I go off and I sit in. I leave that, and she says, what do you want to do with your life now? I said, I'm not sure. I don't feel like there's anything there for me anymore. And she goes, why don't you come out to Vegas? And I go, yeah. She goes, how about right now? And I went, right now? I'm a spontaneous guy.
Yeah.
So I did. I went. I left my stuff, and I came back for it, but I went right up immediately, stayed with her. Then I moved into a Christian halfway house, and Doris Stotler was the lady of the house, and then I got my grounding in the Bible. And then I started doing evangelical outreach because of music. So I worked with a lot of amazing, famous evangelical people, famous, and so great experience. So the 70s morphed us into the first, I think, themed casino was the Excalibur.
Okay.
I think it was the first one. And then Steve Wynn did, around the same time,
yeah,
he did the Mirage.
I know the Mirage followed, and the
Treasure
MGM, Treasure Island. You had casinos like Circus and Caesar's Palace that have been there for a while.
Yes.
That were really themed.
Yes.
And then, you got all these other casinos that pop up, like the Excalibur, as you mentioned, and then right across the street, the New York.
Yes.
And a few others.
Yes.
and then off the Strip you've got things.
The Hard Rock.
You got the Hard Rock Cafe. You got the Orleans.
Yes, the Orleans. Station casinos.
Station casinos.
The Red Rock.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot to choose from out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of boggles my mind. You know, you were talking earlier
Yes,
that Vegas is kind of on an economic decline. And I keep going back to the economics
Yes.
because that's kind of the main focus of
Oh,
this,
well, let me tell you.
of this debate.
Thank you.
And it just seems like you were telling me earlier how Vegas is on this financial decline.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that can kind of tie into the decline of the class and the prestige.
Yeah.
I wonder if that played a factor in it. But can you elaborate on some of the decline that's happened, especially on the economic standpoint? Because let's be honest.
Yes.
Vegas is always freaking packed. They've always got shows going on. They've always got big things going on. And the traffic there, in and out, is just exponential. I mean, It's literally like New York.
Yes.
You know, bumper to bumper traffic.
Oh, yeah.
People crammed on the streets.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that they're not generating good revenue. So, can you elaborate on that?
Yes, sir, I can. Excuse me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the sad state of affairs, and no offense to the casino industry or the hotels. They're brilliant people. They've had a really good edge for quite a while, but unfortunately their business model has obviously become a failure because they tried to do too much too fast as far as like the movie industry. A movie comes out now, they want to hit every demographic. So it's a little bit of everything for everybody. Well, Vegas lost its shiny, its beautiful prestige. There's a lot of people that say this and feel the same way. And I'm bold and I will come out because I'm not about the person to bash Vegas or put it down. But what I'm there to do is I want to promote it. But I want to see Vegas come back to what it was. Get back to the roots. And people out there right now, I bet if they're watching this live, they'd be cheering and whistling and jumping up and down. I mean, I swear to God. These people, there's a lot of great people in Vegas. And there's a lot of bad people in Vegas. And I've experienced both. The bad people are there to prey on the good people. And that needs to be changed immediately. That needs to drastically change. That what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas thing, that needs to go out the window. Because if there's a side of Vegas, it's not a pretty side. And I really probably, I'll get into that at another time. But economically speaking, because of their business model, stopping the entertainment, like when you went into a major casino back when I was there were 2, 3, 4 lounges. I mean, big stage lounges. Nice, mini showrooms. Then they had the 5-year contract Star. It was, if you go back the next year, they're going to be the next year. You could pick your choice of any major star. Every casino had a major headline act, major star. So that was a dynamic that drew the people for the gambling. When the Gaming Commission kind of booted the mafia out and they took over, the corporates sharpened their pencils and they squeezed the penny so hard that the eyes are bulging and popping out of the head. Because there are people that I met at the Fizz at the Caesars out of that, and Elton John night before he went on his show, the night before. He was there. We were supposed to meet him. Everybody was excited. He was tired and he didn't want to deal with it. But the main thing is I saw him. He was sitting up there. And the Fizz has a lounge, private lounge, and he owns it along with his husband. So these people from Beverly Hills are next to me, and they say, Beverly Hills. They're very wealthy. They have a network, and I got to remember this gal's name. But she wanted to network tourism, and she said, why is Beverly Hills, why is everything in Vegas so damn expensive? Why? And I said, because they are losing their butt. Honestly. I can give you numbers. The Cosmopolitan was recently sold for something like $1.8 billion to the Blackstone Group, who are excellent managers and turn businesses around. Their revenues are $150 million in gambling, $350 million in concessions, food, services. That's where the money is now, not in the gambling. Gambling is taking a big hit. It's actually, they say it's down like, they're like the government is and what they're going to say. It's down like 12, 15%, somewhere in there. They're saying it's like 2 and 3%, but actually they admitted to around 7 to 10%. But that's a huge number, and of course, we're talking 47 million people visit that place. They actually broke a record. They got almost 48 million. So the tourism, it's a trade capital of the world. There are over 10,000 trade shows in the United States. Reed is the top dog, the king of the trade. Well, they are the trade capital. So they have a building also called World Market Center. It's 9 million square feet of all just housing products.
Oh, so it's mostly housing then.
Yeah, it's like accessories, furniture. It's amazing. I walked it. I saw it. It would take you, I don't know how long to see it all. They have startup companies around it in Quonset Hut. So, and they have tons of events there. Now, there's over 100 events a day in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Every 5 days there's a convention.
I know you're mentioning, the 5-year contracts and consistency of celebrities.
Yes.
And I know that's still there somewhat. Like you've got Carrot Top, you've got...
Oh, by the way, Carrot Top, I don't
You've got Chris Angel.
Carrot Top is the most recognizable face in Vegas.
Well, how could you miss the hair?
How could you miss that face?
I know. I'm a Carrot Top
Well, you're going to see the hair before you see the face. It's like this big-ass fucking clown wig, I've never met Carrot Top. I can't judge the guy.
I haven't got to meet him
But, in all actuality, how are you going to miss that hair?
I love Del Taco, by the way.
Okay. But, you've got celebrities like Carrot Top, Chris Angel. You've got celebrities that come in for appearances, like comedians.
Yes.
Rap groups, rock groups.
Yes.
You got even some local groups that perform there regularly.
Absolutely.
So you've got...
Can I give a shout out?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go for it.
Hey, Chris Phillips. He's Zoe Bowie. He has an amazing show. He's an amazing guy. He's been in Vegas performing at Red Rock. They brought him out from Prescott, Arizona. He was working with different people. He's recently changed up his act a little bit. But he's been there for, I think, 10 or 11 years. He plays everywhere. And Nevi Melandra. Hi, Nevi. You're a beautiful, beautiful, fabulous singer. I love you. She's gorgeous. She's like a fabulous performer. And you got Lydia Ansel. She's just all beautiful people. And you see these people, like, wow, they're so amazing. Chris Phillips, he's like totally so cool. They together are really awesome. They play at Red Rock at 11 p.m. every Friday until 2 a.m. Never joke about startup because it's whenever he kind of gets himself up, so he's like having a few drinks and getting ready. And he's like a fighter getting ready. He plays the drums. I've seen him do a drum solo from hell. It was just, you're a fabulous entertainer. I think you're amazing. So I'd love to work with you. I'd love to have you on our shows and our magazine, all of you, and Lydia. And Jamie Romas, she has a sexy show over at Westgate. She's a year now celebrated there. Her show is doing great. There's so many people to shout out to, but those are the kind of the main people that I also want to shout out to Ella Reynolds with Diamante Jewelers over in Tivoli Village. She's an amazing woman. I can't wait to work with her. And all the merchants of Tivoli Village who want to help their businesses, that's what we're about. It's economically promoting these people. There's Regis Office Centers. Steve Burton, hi, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Give me a call, please call me. We have a lot to talk about. I want to make a deal with these guys. And did my radio show, Artist First Radio Network, the Cardilo Show, live from Las Vegas. I did 3 shows, I think.
Yeah.
And I did it over at Tapas Grill, which now is Salt and Pepper. Hi, Chef Alex Estrada. He's a celebrity chef. Peter Vitola was a general manager. Hey, Peter. He's moved on to other things. They changed the venue, so we did 2 shows out of there. I worked with Sarah Shelton. She's a fabulous artist. See her on YouTube. She's an amazing, like Taylor Swift. Ace Michaels. Hey, Avalon Entertainment. Thank you so much.
Well, you know pretty much everybody in Vegas, huh?
I know everybody.
Okay, so everybody in Vegas who knows this guy, shout out.
I need to give a shout out to Nina De Rosa. She is amazing. I was joking with her the other day and said, you know what? I have to tell you, I'm in your class, I sit in the back. I don't raise my hand. I don't want to be noticed. But I love you so much. She's like a cross between Mary Poppins and Julie Andrews.
Are you getting paid to plug these people right now?
No.
I'm sure as hell not getting paid for it. Lucid, are you getting paid for this? Are we seeing any royalties for plugging these people?
Maybe they'll do something like it, surprise us, perhaps. That wouldn't be bad.
Maybe if I wind up with a fat-ass check in the mail, I'm shaking your hand.
Don't be shy about it, please.
Yeah, these people aren't even our sponsors.
How about we take a love offering? We're like a ministry. How's that?
Ah, there you go.
We'll pass that basket around, and, feel free.
And by basket, we mean... You can mail the checks too.
Yes. P.O. Box 1083, Fallbrook, California 92088.
Oh shit! There he goes.
Please make your donations.
Yeah.
Make them good.
Yeah,
please.
but that's, like, none of these people are our sponsors or anything. But speaking of sponsors,
Yes.
we better go ahead and go to our
Yes,
commercials.
sir.
In fact,
Absolutely.
like, none of these people that we advertise are sponsoring us. They don't pay anything to.
Well, you should. Shame on you.
Well,
Sorry.
they're fellow activists and people that I work with, so I am happy to promote them. Like,
Well,
I'm happy to have you on the show
I
and promote
understand.
your work.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't take
But
anything
this
from it.
gentleman is our executive film director, and this is his co-director. They are now officially in the rockthismag.rocks studio, magazine, radio show, everything. The works. They get the full package deal. These guys are going to have, we're going to do red carpet.
Told you TWBRL was going to get the radio
Right.
show. Damn it.
That's
I
right.
told you it was going to fucking happen.
See?
But speaking of
Man.
making shit happen, we're at 30 minutes right now, so we're gonna go ahead and cut for our break, for our commercials, do all that fun shit. We'll be right back.
Wonderful. Thank you. Be back. Thank you.
Hello, YouTube Universe. This is good old Grandmaster Revan. Are you looking for daily, unbiased political videos? Come check out my channel at youtube.com/GrandmasterRevan, or you can find me in the featured activist section on the Worldwide Resistant Networks channel at youtube.com/Resistance2058. Remember, knowledge is free.
I want to talk a little bit about how America is becoming a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah in some aspects. We are losing our morals and ethics in the United States. If you tune into the History Channel, they got Larry the Cable Guy telling penis and fart jokes to Cub Scouts. If you tune into Discovery Channel, they're teaching your children how we originated from aquatic mermaids. I didn't tune in to Fox News to hear about Kim Kardashian's ass cheek implants. There is a Beavis and Butthead mentality going about in this country, and it's contagious.
I look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war. If we die tonight, mankind dies with us.
You're doing it right now. This is the end of the war.
If you're in Las Vegas and eat chicken Caesar salad and find out that it gives you the shits, but you're stuck walking the strip and almost crap behind some bushes, then you run into a casino and bust down the stall door and shit all over the place!
Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our special guest, Chris Cardilo. Okay, Chris,
Thank you so much.
go ahead, tell us about your website and the magazine. Just go ahead and give a good plug on that real quick. The Rock This Mag.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'd love to tell you all about it. I met with Fun City Distribution. Fun City does advertising, marketing, and distribution. They're going to be our distributor in Las Vegas. They've opened, given me a warm welcome. We had a meeting, a 30-minute meeting, it turned into like 2.5 hours. Steve Lackamore and Russ Hogan are the two principals over there, and they've been doing this since 1970.
Nice. So we got Rock This Mag. Is there anything else you would like to plug real quick?
So rockthismag.rocks is where music, entertainment, lifestyle comes together, the VIP luxury lifestyle. We're going to have the Las Vegas edition, Hollywood edition, the Henderson edition. We're going to launch those simultaneously, even possibly at the same time, Orlando, Florida, and New York, and London.
Beautiful.
And our factory is in California, where they are a technology-driven print factory. They use state-of-the-art Heidelberg systems, and they have their control room. They have half graphic department, half IT department. It looks like a launch room of Cape Canaveral.
So basically, unlike Vegas, you're actually making money rather than going into the hole.
Yes.
And there's something I want to ask.
Absolutely.
We touched a little bit on the celebrity thing.
Yes.
How is it with all these celebrities, even the local celebrities that work there regularly, as well as the celebrities that come in and out of Vegas, how is it they're hurting economically? I mean, you mentioned they're jacking up their prices and going different avenues because the casino industry aspect is hurting so bad. But wouldn't they be making up that revenue?
Well,
with the shows, with the celebrities, and
it's a good question.
With everything else that they've got going on?
It's kind of an illusion, I'll tell you, because there are people making bank. They're making a lot of money, though. There are shows that are making great money. But the casinos themselves are failing. They're almost all in Chapter 11. And because they switched the business model. Their business model does not work. So now, they're building a new outside venue with same shopping, restaurants, and a sports stadium, 85,000-seat sports stadium. It's almost complete, done by courtesy of the MGM. It's like a $350 million budget, and it's in between New York, and Monte Carlo.
Yeah, I saw it last year when I was out there.
Oh yeah, you were out there.
Yeah, when I covered the WWE network.
Yes, sir.
And they were working on that. The New York was under construction as well.
Yes.
So it seems like, they are building up. It's really hard to believe that they're hurting as bad as you say.
Yes,
economically.
I'll point it out to you. When you come into Vegas from the south, you come up to Luxor and Mandalay Bay. Across from there are these two big cement chimney stacks. They look like. That's where the big, high roller was going to be. This guy was developing the high roller before Caesar. And so what happened was, as they were under construction, just getting going, Caesars announced that they were going to do one.
Oh, shit.
And Harrah's bought Caesars and became Caesars.
So basically Vegas is cock-blocking Vegas.
Yeah, so what happened was there was a fight. The casinos were fighting instead of getting along and outdoing each other. And so what happens is they shut down their project. All the guys, investors, ran away. Now it's a 20-acre site or 40-acre, and it's up for sale. And it was going to be a full amusement park.
Oh, wow.
That would have been way better than what happened down the street.
Well, I know that New York's got a bit of a theme park going there. They got the roller coaster.
Circus too.
Yeah, Circus, absolutely.
MGM, I remember back in the day, I don't know if they still have it or not, they had the Wizard of Oz thing, the Yellow Brick Road, all the way up to the Emerald City, and then they had this show with the wizard and everything.
Yeah, we need to get back to that.
That was really cool stuff. I remember seeing that when I was younger.
There's some good shows.
The problem with those shows now, though, is that you could see all that shit at Universal Studios.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go to Universal Studios and see
that. Extremely well put.
Well, that,
excellent point.
MGM.
That really.
The way that I look at it is Vegas is like a theme park for adults. They don't want to go there to ride roller coasters. They're not taking their kids there. They're going there without their kids. And who's going to want to ride a log ride at Vegas when you could go to Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland, Six Flags, and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
So the ones that are making the money are the extreme roller coasters like Stratosphere, and, stuff like that. Those ones are the ones that are making it because they're doing something nobody else has done.
Exactly.
And then you got that. I don't know what the hell that thing's called on the top of Stratosphere. But thing that's like Supreme Screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's crazy.
It's crazy. You can bungee cord jump.
Jesus.
Yeah, I heard you could bungee.
There's a guy that got stuck. I was talking to the staff. He was hanging there for 2 hours.
Damn.
Oh, jeez.
He somehow survived the shock of it all. That thing is the tallest structure on this side of the Mississippi. I think it is. It's the tallest structure. I mean, I've been up there to the pool deck on a couple of
maybe the Space Needle. I don't know.
It's an amazing place. It's an amazing place, Yeah. There's some amazing things in Las Vegas, like City Center. It's state-of-the-art, beautiful, fabulous, beautiful. But the thing was so controversial. I heard that it was $9 billion, and this guy goes, He was a controller, one of the controller CPAs. He said it was, I kid you not, and I can't remember exactly, some insane number like 50 million or 100 million. Jeez. I mean, billion.
Oh, wow.
Billion? Wait a minute. Yes.
Probably billion.
9 billion is what I thought it was. Jeez. He goes, no. And what happened was the union squeezed the hell out of the Perini, I think was the original contractor. He came from New York for 40 mil. Deutsche Bank, I believe, was the bank involved. No, the Saudis were the ones. The Saudi and Kirkorian, I believe. I may have these facts mixed up, so please excuse me. I do a lot of due diligence because I'm a real estate developer since 1985. I incorporated in 1987. I have an architectural design firm that's full turnkey, does sales, office, marketing, model, and all that stuff. Ad agency, all inclusive, since 1983.
So you've got a good insight into it.
Yeah, yes. I've been in the industry. In my third year, we became number one in Orange County.
Oh,
Newport Beach was the mecca of developers. So it was a really good place to cut my teeth. I learned I was in boardrooms nonstop. After that, I sat in restaurants and clubs making deals. That's all I did. I'd come to my office Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and have our corporate meeting, our kickoff, our what's going on in the middle of the week, and a wrap-up. This keeps the flow going. 24-hour operation. It was a nightmare. But it made a lot of money.
Yeah, so you got a really good insight as to why Vegas is party.
So I get the data and information people don't see, that there's a lot of propaganda and subterfuge going on. So if you drive that strip, my investor friend said, what an embarrassment. Because first you got those two chimneys, right, that are just sitting there. Then you go down and you've got the Fountain Blue that's a ghost. It's ghost. They took the crane down about 8 months ago. That means it's kaput. So it's already just sitting there in shambles. And it's a huge deal. It's a huge property.
What about the
Riviera? It just was sold $180 million to the tourist board and the convention center.
Oh, wow.
They're going to build another trade zone. They're not doing a casino. What does that tell you?
That's pretty bad.
The echelon got taken on a massive steel structure just sitting there rusting.
No kidding.
Yes. It went BK, and then what happened was all these things were coming out right after the bank crash. The bank crash totally messed them up. Downtown Summerlin Mall froze. It was just a dead site for 4 years. Then Hughes Corporation finally secured $350 million to build it out by the end of 2014 Christmas.
Oh, geez.
And it's a 1.5 million square foot mall, outside mall.
So they're just making bad investments.
There's another problem. Now, they said the shopping and the concession store where the money's at.
Yeah.
Well, Town Square is at the south of Vegas. Huge outside mall. Fabulous. It's on the verge of, it's teetering. It's on the verge of BK.
Yeah. You say that the gambling has taken a downturn as far as profits. What about areas like Laughlin or State Line? How are those casinos doing, and do they play a factor in Vegas's economic crisis?
Their bottom line, well, they're not a competition. In fact, I, as a developer, went out and looked at Laughlin quite a bit. I was going to build a casino out there. And so I find out that tax base-wise, they say it takes about 3 to 4 people per room to service the tourists. In Vegas, it's like 15, 20.
Oh, wow.
They have a huge overhead. Yeah. I mean, it's killing them. And they're not making the money in the gambling.
So
people are sick of it, really.
They used to make a lot of money in the gambling.
Yes,
that's what people would go there for.
That's right.
That's a good now question. They just go there for the shows and the relaxation, the restaurants, the buffets in the casino. I'll tell you what, I personally go to casinos for the buffets.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I really do.
It's great. It's great.
My favorite place to go is State Line. I love State Line.
Oh, yeah, State Line.
State Line is great. Yeah.
Prim, right?
Prim or Piccolo Pete's.
Yes.
I like Piccolo Pete's, too.
Yeah.
Which is great.
You know, I got to say that I've read the Las Vegas Weekly. Give a shout-out to the Las Vegas Weekly. A shout-out to the 7 magazine. And Las Vegas woman is Tammy Shaw, I think Gabriel. Excuse me if I didn't get that right. But she recently has been married and she has a baby. So congratulations on your new family. And her magazine is growing leaps and bounds, and she is the ex-wife of Mark Schaefer, who has my Vegas magazine. So she comes out with a magazine first, and he comes out with, so she's a Las Vegas woman, and then he comes out, My Vegas. So touche, Mark.
That's funny.
But,
as far as the gambling goes,
yes, sir.
Being that Vegas is taking such a hit in the gambling industry, is that a factor? Is the Indian casino thing a factor?
Well,
considering as
great
Lucid
question.
message, as Lucid mentioned, say that 3 times fast.
Well, Mr. Tinman, let me tell you something.
Yeah, is that a factor?
You asked great. Isn't he a great interviewer?
I'm very off the cuff.
Well, I'll tell you what. Vegas, those Indian casinos don't hold the cap. I've been to Pachanga. I've been to all the ones in California. They've grown exponentially. Like in 2011, 2008, I counted 150 in California. And then in 2011, there were 500.
Yeah.
Now there's like probably 1,500. And this has grown across the whole United States. So they aren't really hurting them at all. Now, I think they are.
I think that the Indian casinos are kind of hurting Vegas in a sense
be.
that you don't have to travel out of state anymore.
Yeah.
You could just go to your local
casino.
I mean, right here in Riverside County, you have Saboba, Pachanga.
That's right.
You know, what's the other one that eats Morango.
Yeah, Morango, and then you've got
I've been to all of them.
Out towards
they don't
Indio.
hold a candle to Vegas.
Oh, you got Agua Caliente?
Yeah, Agua Caliente.
You know,
they are good.
A few smaller ones.
Yeah, I've been to all those casinos myself as well.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, it's like being in Vegas. I mean, you don't have the glitz and glamour outside of the casino.
Yes.
But inside the casino, you couldn't tell the
It's
difference.
a mirror.
If I took a video camera inside of one of the casinos
Apollo?
Here in or Apollo Casino or whatever, Pachanga, whatever.
Yeah.
If I'd have taken a video camera in one of those casinos and then took a separate camera into another casino and put those images side by side, you would see almost the exact same images.
Yes, it's a mirror.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the glitz and glamour inside the casinos here in California are exactly the same as they are in Vegas.
Yes.
And these are Indian ran casinos.
Yes.
And I think that plays a lot of factor into the fact of why would I travel 4-5 hours to Vegas?
And it's expensive.
Yeah. When I could just travel 2 hours to Temecula or to Hemet.
Exactly.
Or San Jacinto rather, Saboba Casino.
Yes.
I used to be a security guard at Saboba Casino.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I mean, like I've been to all these casinos as well, and I don't see much of a difference inside the casinos. They're all playing the same games.
Yeah,
they're all doing the same kinds of gambling.
Everything.
They have high rollers tables in every casino. They have, the only difference is Indian reservation.
Nice restaurants.
Yeah. The only difference is the Indian reservation.
It's a resort.
And it is a resort. I mean, they have the Saboba Indian reservation also has a country club right up the way.
I didn't know that.
My uncle got married there. It's an amazing
like Johnny
country
Carson.
club.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, even clubs like Pachanga out in Temecula, they've got a nightclub, they've got regular bars, sports bars, buffets, indoor shopping,
sportbook.
Yeah, sportbook. I mean, they've got it all.
Keno.
They've got spas. They've got everything there. They've got everything that Vegas has.
Yes,
more or less.
And
so,
you're right.
I think that would be hurting them because it's a local thing. You don't want to have to travel out of state if you don't have to.
And the other thing, big hit, which happened, I think was
especially if you're just going there to gamble.
That's right.
If you're going there for the casino
doesn't
scene,
care where he goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's just trying to win money.
He just wants to play.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good point.
But what were you saying?
Well, another big event that took place, I think it was in 14. In the beginning was Atlantic City bit the dust.
Yeah.
They went completely gambling, imploded. That took a lot of tourists. Yeah, it brings a lot of tourism to Vegas. So the filler is the Indian casino is definitely a cancer to them, to Vegas, because it has to be. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
There's only so much market share.
Right.
I mean, and now these people, like you say, Brilliant stated, it's a mirror of Vegas.
Yeah.
A lot of these are getting bigger and better and bigger and better.
Right.
They'll probably be full on. In fact, another thing that's going on that a lot of people don't know about, and my friend Peter Elianis is the one that told me, This is very controversial. I probably shouldn't state what he told me exactly.
But
what he did say was Macau is going down.
Right.
They're going under, and there's a reason for it, and that's the reason I can't discuss.
Well,
it's quite controversial.
It's probably got a lot of legal
in the news,
dynamics too.
I don't want to be the one to I'm not delivering that message, but what I'm saying, which is affecting, like, Steve Wynn, it's public. Hi, Steve Wynn, I love you, man. I haven't even met you. You're a genius. My hat's off to you. Business is a tough, rough, and tumble game. It's, especially what you've done. Your legacy, is amazing. And but he took a big hit from Macau.
That's really sad.
It's $400 million hit to be exact.
Well, this whole country's in debt, and it's not surprising that Vegas would take a hit too.
I can tell this is public too. Yes, the whole nation is in dire straits. I hope Trump wins because he's going to be the Reagan that pulls us out of it.
Yeah, plus he's got his casino out in Vegas, so he could probably wind up buying up Vegas at that point. This man
is the most. I think he's our John Wayne. I think he's a Teddy Roosevelt. We need a hero. We need a businessman. Everything he does is a success. I have people criticize that I even like him because they don't like this or they don't like that. And I'm thinking, grow up.
A lot of the American people don't like Trump right now because he's not, quote, nice, unquote.
Right.
Well, you know what? We don't need nice. We don't need nice politically correct right now. We need somebody to tell. We need to tell it like it is right now. And we need to do something about our fucking problems and address these problems.
He addresses it head on.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't care what people think, and that's the great thing about him.
I would love to have Trump on the weekly report, or even just interview him separately.
It would be Mr. Trump, would you please come on our show?
Yeah, give him a call.
Would you please be in our magazine while we can promote you for your presidency? And please, we'd love to be at the White House. I can't wait to go see you and be in the White House. I can't tell you what an amazing honor that would be, sir. I got to tell you that I've been a fan of yours since I became in business. I left music, not entirely, but I made a transition, and I'm still keeping it. And I bought your Art of the Deal. I bought all of your promotionals, your materials, and I have done a lot of the things that you've suggested. You actually are one of my heroes and mentors.
And you've been very successful.
Yes.
So the question I would have to ask in closing here, you said you wanted to make Vegas great again, or even just see Vegas become great again. From a business standpoint, having been very successful yourself,
yes, sir.
What would you suggest? Aside from the other economic issues that this nation is facing,
I know the formula.
Yeah, what would you suggest? How can Vegas recover?
I think I'm going to do this.
And become great again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to announce right here on this show that I intend and plan on building 2 resort casinos in Las Vegas. To do it different than the way they're doing it. And show it the business model and prove the point. And that is, first off, it's going to be packed with entertainment. I want 5-year contracts. I want lounges. I want to switch up the gaming. Where I hear in Reno they're experimenting. I had this idea, and somebody said, "Yeah, they're doing it in Reno." Like, how about beer pong?
There you go.
Games where people, because you know what, the millennial generation, they say, doesn't want to gamble. And actually, the truth is, they don't want to go to Hakkasan either.
Yeah. They got no problem gambling, as we already discussed. They just don't want to travel out of the way to gamble.
And I failed to mention this. The Hakkasans, Omnia, the Chateau, Dre's, all of these clubs, the bar and beverage, let's see, the bar, what is it? There's a trade show, nightclubs and bars trade show, something like that. They meet in March. They vote the top 100 clubs in America. They voted the top 32 clubs are in Las Vegas. Out of the 100, the creme de la creme of the clubs in the United States are in Vegas. They are making, like, there's Access, there's Tryst, there's Surrender over at Wynn and Encore. I mean, you have Hayes by the Light Group. These are like groups that own these things. These like 4 or 5 clubs maybe. I've been to quite a few. There's a lot I haven't been to. So they're making like $100 million.
So at
Hakkasan, on any given night, there's 10,000 people in there.
So Vegas isn't on the verge of even remotely collapsing.
Well, now let me state this. As Riviera shut down, I can't remember how many people that was out of work. There are no, and they have a big employment agency for like 10 casinos. I think it's MGM's thing. I'm not sure. But right now, the tourism is picked up. I mean, it's picked up. But the problem is the way they're running everything is it's just not working. You know, Einstein used to have a saying, and he coined the phrase, if you do the same things over and over and over and over, expecting a different result, it's insane.
Right.
Well, that's what we have.
Right.
They need to get back to vintage Vegas, switch it up. What they could do like that?
And that's funny.
Works.
That's funny you use that phrase because I've used that phrase a billion times on this show. It's the theory of scientific method. You repeat the same methods over and over and over, expecting different results. You're not going to get them. You have to change something in the equation in order to get a different result. 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2 unless you change that plus sign to a minus sign or change one of the numbers to something else.
Yes.
Everything on the left side is going to equal the same thing on the right side if nothing has changed.
Brilliantly stated. Brilliant. Bravo.
And Vegas has been changing its model. Maybe not the best format for it. You know, what they're doing is probably not the best business moves, but they have been changing. And what seems to me is that, like you said, they need to get back to the roots. They need to go back to what works. And,
right,
you know, there are
just like this country.
Yes, just like this country. This other, you know what one of my favorite movies is? The movie Wall Street by Oliver Stone. Mm-hmm. Michael Douglas won his Academy Award for Gordon Gekko. I love movies. We're all film buffs here. Mm-hmm. We're doing film. We're doing all kinds of stuff. He says in that movie, he talks about Teledar Paper. Mm-hmm. And he calls it a failing corporation like the other one, United States of America. Mm-hmm. He says greed is good. Right. Greed cuts through. Right. You know, all that speech that won him his Academy. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's true. Like right now, what's stifling America is we need to get back to the Republic for which it stands. Yeah. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. So, let me tell you something. We weren't supposed to be a democracy. That's for starters. We need to get back to the Republic. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, we started off as a republic, but the reason why we ended up becoming a democracy was based on the fact that we didn't want any one presidential candidate to become quote-unquote emperor or king.
Roosevelt.
Well, that's what was starting to happen. I mean, George Washington was
now, that's the best explanation I've ever heard.
Because George Washington was president for 50 years or something like that. Yeah. Like crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and he
nobody knows this.
He saw that the republic, or you know,
it was being abused.
Well, that it was turning into what we had originally fought against, and that was a monarchy.
And even the colonists wanted to make him king.
They did. They wanted him.
And he's like, "Oh hell no, I'm not doing that shit."
Yeah.
You know, we need to have a system in place.
And slavery was an issue back then, but they couldn't tackle it because they would not have been able to form the United States of America.
Right.
That's the only reason. They knew they kicked the can down the road.
Right. Yeah.
Then it exploded around 1840.
Right.
Started kicking up. Then it became abolition movement. Then it was this. Then there was Uncle Tom's Cabin, right? Where the ferry, he was a religious leader, killed somebody, some blacks, or I can't remember.
I don't remember.
He was an abolitionist. He killed some Southern people, I think. He was I can't think of his name in history. You history buffs out there probably know what I'm talking about. Zechariah, something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
He was a zealot, like a Quaker or a Puritan, I can't remember. But, so our history of our country is Rocky Road Economics. There's a book out, I can't remember, I wish I knew that title of this book. This woman wrote it about 4 or 5 years ago. She does a whole history of America's economics.
Wow. Yeah, if anybody knows that book, let us know. We'll put it in the description.
And I mean, she shows graphs. So in 1875, around there was a hell recession, a depression. Yeah. I mean, we've been through a lot in this country. And one of the primary reasons I hear about, very controversial, one of the Pentagon generals, Joint Chiefs of Staff, said publicly, the worst nightmare, the most dangerous thing for the national security of America he said it was the Federal Reserve and the Treasury.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
He said...
Guess who owns the Federal Reserve right now?
I'm not sure.
The Rockefellers, right? Am I correct on that?
Wow, that's right. I've heard this.
Rockefellers. I could be wrong on this.
They're privately owned.
It is privately
and they've
owned.
never been examined.
They say it's Federal Reserve, but it has nothing to do with the federal government.
And the IRS is
it's privately
Delaware.
owned by the banks.
Right? IRS, you know who owns IRS? An insurance, a British insurance company. The Queen of England.
So we are paying the British taxes still.
Yes. It's the Peace Treaty of 1789. Online. You can look it up. Look it up on Google. 1789. The Peace Treaty of... I learned this because of banking. I was engaged in this really massive real estate development project I had in 2011, a rainforest property. That's going to make a holistic wellness spa resort. Everybody dogpiled on me. All these lawsuits took place because the sellers, all this stuff, and I shouldn't say anything about it really. I made a deal with them. So allegedly, this happened. So anyway, therefore, I got involved in researching, and I found two things that I found. One was about the U.S. Constitution. We are not sovereign citizens of the United States of America. We are corporations. The cities are corporations. The states are corporations. The United States is a corporation. We're debtors. The British made us debtors. In the Peace Treaty of 1789, we made a deal with England because we were bankrupt. Now, England set us up this way. When we were a colony, they didn't give us the British pound. They made us print script. They put us in debt right away. Paperless back nothing.
Yeah.
So they treated us harshly.
Which is why we got on the gold standard.
We were treated harshly. And the gentlemen that formed the United States of America were English subjects. They were gentlemen. They had money. So the ruling class of England formed the United States of America. So, but in a noble cause. To create this new, what do they call it? The New World Order.
Yep. NWO.
Yeah. And so we have the most powerful, amazing business model, company, corporation, country in the world. And it needs to get back to its roots, just like Vegas.
And just real quick, too, you're talking about the economic collapse of Vegas and how that is going about. Well, the economic collapse of Vegas is very similar. Is similar to the economic collapse of the United States. I mean, we are $18 trillion in debt. You know, 18 trillion seconds ago, dinosaurs roamed the earth?
Wow.
That's how much in debt we are.
I hear $1 trillion. If you stack it, it goes to the moon and back.
Oh, I don't know
Dollar
that.
bills.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Wow.
And who the fuck do we owe?
I mean, to the moon.
Yeah, who do we owe $18 trillion to?
Yeah, the world is X amount of... The world is X amount of money in debt. Who the fuck is Earth indebted to?
Now get this.
Itself?
If the United States is that far in debt, do you know is it $21 trillion or 24?
I forget.
I think it's $21 trillion in debt.
We'll be 21 trillion in debt by the time Obama is out of office. That's what's projected. In 24 trillion is where we're
And he's spending like crazy.
Yeah,
like a drunken sailor.
Do you know what a Greece nation is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's where we can't withdraw our money from our banks anymore. We get, like a minimal amount per day to live off of, and the last country that got Greece only was allowed to withdraw like $14 to $16 a day.
They froze your account.
Yeah, they were only allowed $14 to $16 a day.
Yep.
That's all you were allowed.
The EU was supposed to have collapsed years ago.
Yeah.
Germany is the one with the tenfold propping it up. England wants out.
Right.
They're
I think it was Canada. I think Canada was Greece at one point, if I'm not mistaken. I don't
Connor,
think I
well, I know. You care to elaborate on that?
It was Connor that I was talking to. That's how I know that's why I think it's Canada.
Yeah, we'll have to touch base with him on that. Connor, next time you're able to get on camera, why don't you discuss the history of economics of the Canadian province?
I got to say this too: the EU. So I understand it's Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Greece, Italy. All of them are constantly bankrupting, and the EU is constantly bailing them out.
Yep.
The Central Bank of England is doing the same thing, following suit with America. Now, what I understand about banking, and I could be wrong, so I just want to say this. In my due diligence research, I found out that the Vatican controls the banking global.
Oh yeah, that's no secret.
Right?
Yeah, that's common knowledge.
England is the proxy to the Vatican.
Yeah, well,
and the
Catholic Church has always been the freaking superpower behind
the Roman
history
government never fell.
since 300
It just went underground.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And you know what I noticed here? You are one of the awakened ones, especially with your celebrity status. It's nice to see somebody who's in the world of media.
Thank you.
Not buying into the
propaganda, spin.
Yeah, not buying into the spin,
the political correct crowd.
Yeah, and not only saying it like it is,
or manipulating the media or the politically correct crowd.
Yes.
Because you want more money.
That's denial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's greed.
And you notice he's not going all Illuminati and shit.
No,
you know, I noticed that.
Yes, sir.
You're very straightforward. You're saying it how it is.
Yes.
You're a very real person, and yet you have this celebrity status.
Authentic and original.
You're an authentic celebrity.
Thank you.
That is one thing that I have grown to
so
respect about you. In the short time that I've gotten to know you, you know, you've been right out there. You know, just like Rita. You know, Rita King. When I met her,
amazing?
When I met her in Vegas, when I met you.
Yes, at the
she is the biggest. She is such a freaking sweetheart. Really.
Oh, she's a dream.
Love you, girl. You are a sweetheart.
We loved doing photo ops with her, remember?
Yeah, we did photo ops. Her and I had great conversations.
Her mother.
Yeah. You know, her and her mother, just total sweethearts, and I don't even see them buying into that.
I love you. I'm sorry I haven't contacted you. We're going through a lot of transitions. I would love you to be on our shows.
Yeah, I did. Rita, if you're watching this, I did forward him your text and tell him to give you a call.
Yes.
So it
between point A and C, he was the B and he handled his job.
Yeah, I did my job.
and I did contact you. I believe. I'm pretty sure I did. I texted you what our status was. We're going through some changes, and what I want to do for 16. I'd love to have a whole show dedicated to you and your family. And incidentally, I met Charlie Dennis. He was the guitarist for B.B. King. Over at East Street Bar and Grill. Hey guys.
Maybe get them all together too.
And we got Peter Troth, he owns AJ's Music over there. They fixed a couple of my guitars. He says, hey, why don't you come down to my show? I have B.B. King's guitars. And he does. And it was an amazing thing to see. He looks a little bit like B.B. King. It's like he's like B.B. King, you know? And then he's a great, Peter, you rock, man. That guy can play the blues. And I had such a great time. Then they do karaoke. And they have new owners at that place. So please, everybody out there, you should go down there and check it out. I mean, they have great shows, great food. It's a fun place. They have, the entertainment is first class. I mean, it's a small venue, so it's nice and intimate.
If they're paying you for this, I want to cut.
Hey, shout out to you guys. Remember me as a sponsor and advertising. We need to talk. They said they would. So we have a lot of people to get through. In fact, I wanted to give another shout out to some sponsors.
Oh, go ahead.
Potential. Tim Donnelly, sir. I want you on my show in Las Vegas. He's the general manager of Acura of Las Vegas. That's where I bought my car. And he takes care of me. And we talked about our magazine. He said he was either going to go with one or this one, but he wants to go with ours. So I've been putting a shout out to you. I'm reaching out to you. And please, sir, let's do business. Let's do this. Because we're going to be putting out about 200,000 magazines through Fun City. Our factory in California, no problem. They're technology driven. We've got some innovational things in the magazine where nobody is, well, the fashion industry, I just told, I mentioned this to my printer and my factory. They're a family business. I've worked with them since 2000. If I order something, it's done in 3 days.
Yeah. And one thing I do want to point out, you know, you're talking about all these people, and you talk about all the things that you're doing, the real estate, the television, the radio, you know, networking with people. You know, you're really making a lot of money, and I want to point out to people that this guy is not just about taking the money and running. You know, this guy is heavily involved in charities.
Yes.
He's a huge humanitarian.
Thank you
so
much.
He's not like a lot of celebrities who will just take their money and hoard it and do their own thing. He really does care. He demonstrates that. I've really noticed that. Like, anytime
I do what I say.
Anytime we're discussing,
I'm a man of honor.
Anytime we're discussing business, you're always bringing in the charity aspect. It's like, okay, what charity are we going to help out here? You know, who are we going to help here? What are we going to do here?
That's right.
You know,
yes,
you're always making it a point of throwing that out there, and it's not just about, okay, how can we make money? It's like, okay,
I'm actually thinking
how are we going to help other people with that money?
I'm thinking the last of that because I've done it. I made a lot of money, you know. But I just got to tell you, Rita King, she has an Alzheimer's charity. I'm working with ANFAR, it's the American Research Foundation for AIDS Research. Unfortunately, excuse me, folks, I get choked up when I have to talk about this, but I think it's powerful and needs to be said. My younger brother, Chuck Briggs, died of AIDS in 2000, July 4th. He had a battle with it for a year. It was quite an amazing experience. Very, very grueling. It puts me into tears immediately almost. I miss him so much. He's my best friend. And so I need to champion his cause. And I understand they're this close to a cure. In fact, this gentleman told me about a bee sting serum that cures HIV, which if he would have had that, he would have lived.
I told you about Dr. Sebi, too. In Africa, he doesn't even have a elementary grade school, credentials. And he has cured 13 people because he understands that there isn't multiple diseases. There's only one, and it's the mucus in our cells.
Wow.
Which we'll get into that more
amazing.
In our interview when we talk about this stuff more and more. But since I'm talking right now, I don't mean to be rude to you. But I have to go, guys. I have to go check on my son. In fact, it's going on 2 o'clock in the morning here in California. And I think he's screaming in the background. So I just want to say good night. Have a good one. I'm Lucid, and thank you very much, Chris, for being on the weekly report. I appreciate it. It's very nice to interview you.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys later.
Good night, brother.
rockthismag.rocks.
Yep. So in closing, go ahead. Everyone, check out Chris's magazine, rockthismag.rocks. Check out his show on WCOBM, the Cardilo Show. Is there anything else that I should point out?
You know what? Our website's down. We're switching web platforms right now, so it should be up momentarily. And also, I have another website coming very quickly, like in the next few days, the Christopher Cardilo .show. So. You can catch me there. Then I have my Facebook pages. I have rockthismag.rocks. It's www.facebook.com/rockthismag. And I have the Christopher Cardilo Show, live from Las Vegas, Facebook page, about 10 pages. So American Equities Group, my development company, my architectural firm, Christopher Briggs Enterprises, which is cbestudios.com. And so we're pretty multifaceted, and so we want to be all-inclusive, closed-circuit social media. I mean, we're print, radio, television, HBO unit, label, talent agency, public relations, along with the social media. So this is what we want to do. We're going to add in a banking unit and a legal team, law firm. I want to give this shout-out to DLA Piper in San Diego, Mr. Robert Brownsley, sir. He's the managing partner of the largest law firm in the world based out of San Diego.
Yeah, so if you get in trouble for protesting, go ahead and go to him.
Yeah, we're streaking, but, so just kidding. But,
who told you about that?
I saw video. Anyway, I think it was on Artman. I want to give a shout out to Artman. I'd love to work with you. I think that'd be very cool. I want to give a shout out to Nina Rosa again. I want to give a shout out to, Ronan Williams, The Williams Show, live from Hollywood, powered by Roebuck, on the WCOBM.
And that's Roebuck, not robots.
Yeah, not robots, Roebuck, like Sears and Roebuck. Okay, and then the other thing is I want to give a shout out to Tiffany Bordeaux. She's our executive producer. She's amazing, super brilliant, super beautiful. She's a model. Where do you catch her? And we work as a team. We are unstoppable, unbeatable, but we're friends with everybody. So we want to make it very well known that rockthismag.rocks now officially has a studio, and we're actually looking at a place in Carlsbad. So I've ventured before. This is very exciting news. The 16 is going to be dynamic. This next year is going to be where it all comes together. All the hard work of my 35 years of business is coming to a place where I've always dreamed of. So follow your dreams. It may take some time. If you get knocked down, get back up and keep going. Don't pay attention to the people around you, the haters, the criticizers. Follow your dreams, and they will come true. Nina de Rosa has a saying, it happened. Only, let's see, how does it go? Without you, nothing happens.
Yep.
It's all about you.
That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Without you, it's not possible.
Yep.
So it has to start first with you. So get brave. Gear up. We're in America. In America, there isn't anything you can't do. And I just want to say, let's get this America back on the track, back on the road. Let's get Vegas back in action, back to its roots. Let's get people to work. Let's take the homeless
world back to its roots.
I want to give a shout out to Don Wheeler. He's my steel contractor. This gentleman is contracted to build 6,500 houses, little units out of steel. We have a steel frame company that we can build houses in like 5 to 10 days. Pretty amazing. So it's an erector set. It's not prefab, modular, or mobile home. Now, he has a contract to do 6,500 homes for Habitat International, and he needs the money. So if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor this and fund it, this would be a great event. We'll film it, we'll track it, and we want to do this through every major city in America. We want to take the homeless people off the streets, the ones who are damaged and are needy and won't be able to function in society. We want to take care of them in a safe, secure setting where they have a good, wonderful, productive life. And the ones who can go back to work, we're going to train them and give them a job. We're going to get corporate America to sponsor this, or they get trained by ITT or one of these kind of trade operations. And that's another thing. In mentoring people in America today, it comes back to basics. We need to mentor people who do blue-collar work. Because the people going to college are coming out, they're in debt $150,000, $300,000. And then by the time they're 35, they're 21 coming out, or 25 maybe. By the time they're 35, they will finally pay their loan debt. Then they're going to go in debt again with a house and a baby. So this is ridiculous. I mean, so we've got to do something to help. People need to get back to basics. They need to go back to work and not sit around going, I got my degree, and now I'm just this lofty guy sitting as a VP in some company that there's no job for. So let's get real. The guys who have graduated, let's say, why can't you just switch a channel? You got your degrees. Go do some kind of trade, some kind of blue-collar work. It's not below you. It's called making money and paying bills and eating. So let's put America back to work. Mr. Trump, sir, please, I beg you. I actually would love to have you, interview you, be on our shows, be in my magazine, and across the franchise. I would love to have you, sir. I think you're the hope for America, and I would love to even campaign for you. I would totally love to campaign for you. So, thank you so much, Tinman.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having. Yeah, it's all good. It's been a pleasure having you on this show, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We've gone longer than I initially anticipated, but it was well worth it. We covered a lot of ground, discovered a lot of new things and a lot of new points, not only about the Vegas economic issue, but also that not all celebrities are Illuminati sellouts, and it's just nice to have somebody who's down to earth and is just like the common man in the entertainment industry, who's just downright real.
Thank you.
So it's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and I look forward to the next time to have you on.
We're lifetime friends now.
Definitely.
We're going to be working together. We're going to do a lot of great things. I'm so excited. I can't tell you what an honor it is to meet you. It's nice to meet a professional who's brilliant, creative, fun, happy, good person. This is good people here, where he does what he says beyond that. He surprised me already, and he's touched my heart dearly, and I'm indebted to him forever. And I think that this man is a future Academy Award-winning director right here. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I'm not so much worried about the Academy Award as much as I am just trying to make this world a better place. So if I can do that, and
let's
I get
do that together.
Nobel Peace Prize for making this world a better place.
There you go. Nobel Peace Prize.
There you go. And it's not even about the prizes. It's just,
recognition to get it.
Yeah, just doing it. Doing it. That's all I care about.
See, my notoriety, the awards I'm winning, the things that I'm doing, I am using this full scale to promote our agenda, but also it's charity driven. It's giving back. It's way beyond I'm innovational and technology driven. I'm going to do things that people have not done before. And I'm proud to say that I also am a person that's open to new opportunities. I'm looking for a lot of investors. You will make a ton of money on return. I've done it before. I know what I'm doing, and I'll tell you what. This opportunity that's happening right now is so, entertainment is such a big business. It's such a lucrative business, and it's recession-proof. So if you want to invest in something, invest in our magazine, our companies, our entertainment. And my phone number is 760-586-4600. That's 760-586-4600. My email is aegcve@gmail.com. That's Alpha Echo Golf Charlie Bravo Echo. Because I'm moving fast, and we're building studios. We're doing something that nobody's ever done before. And I can't discuss it because of the confidentiality about this, because we don't want to tell our competition. So you'll just see it happen, and there will be a massive press release on this. And make no mistake, we are going to revolutionize the entertainment industry, and it's going to be spectacular.
And we're going to have a positive impact in this world.
This is all about, in our magazine, we have a section called The Good Samaritan.
Really?
Yes. We're going to talk about people who went out of their way to help people. We're going to bring them on the show.
That's beautiful. So any activists out there who are doing things that want to get their info out there, definitely hit this guy up.
Please do.
You know, you may or may not agree with his views on Trump or some of his standpoints on things, but you know what? He's out there. He's trying to make a positive change.
My heart
in this
is in
world.
America, regardless.
Yeah, he's out there trying to make this world a better place. So utilize him. You know, we're all trying to make this world a better place. So let's work with each other and make it happen.
Look, I'm all about team. I truly am. The reason my celebrity status was parked for a while is because I'm not an egomaniac. A lot of these people are wag the tongue. I do everything I say. I do it usually faster than most people by far. I know I'm very gifted. I know I'm very talented. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with a healthy ego. And I have a track record to prove it. I have people that you can talk to that will say, I've known that man 35 years and he's beautiful. I love this guy. It's an honor to have worked with him. I can't tell you what an honor that is to have true, you know what they tell me? I have right now Tiffany Godot. She's a beautiful, amazing executive producer. She calls me Michael Jackson.
Nice.
Do you know what a compliment that is? It's just unbelievable. He's one of my heroes. I mean, he has controversy. What person doesn't? And
especially considering he spoke out against the New World Order and then wound up dead.
Yes.
Now, after all these controversies, which were probably a factor because he was speaking out against the corruption.
What an amazing man. What an amazing career. An amazing superstar. I mean, this guy, so talented. People asked him, where do you get your ideas? And he said, they just come to me. So he's talking about the universal consciousness. Well, we're all tied into that. I am totally. My grandfather was an inventor. His father was an inventor. They have over 115 patents in the Smithsonian. Huxley, there's a town in upstate New York that they founded. Their whole family founded this town. And they are scholars. They're amazing inventors. They are the creators and they are the grandfathers of orthodontics. Braces and orthodontics. And they are they invented it. So I'm still finding out about this family. And so it's absolutely, I was born Cardilo. In 1972, I was adopted into the name Briggs. My stepfather worked in the military in the clandestine services and was quite an amazing, kind of like a spy. He did a lot of different things, but he was mother of Briggs, of the famous Briggs family in Detroit. Tiger Stadium at one point was called Briggs Stadium. So they come from an illustrious lineage line of senators, congressmen, generals, you name it. So that's another factor on my other side. My other side is the Cardilo family. And the Cardilos, there's a little town outside of Palermo called Cardilo. I understand that's my family that founded that. And there's, my grandparents had 11 brothers and sisters on both sides. So it's a massive family. And shout out to the Fentecchios, the Laganos. And please forgive me, I can't remember them all. I remember going to a family reunion where we go to this park in Fullerton, and they go, this is a family reunion. And I go, oh, where is it? And they go, here. And I go, where? It's all these people. I go, all these people are the family? They go, yeah.
Nice.
So a lot of them are in New York. White Plains, Terrytown. My cousin, I want to give a shout out to him. Please, brother, he's my second cousin. I don't know what the trouble is. I want to shout out to you right now. I don't know what the blood is here, the bad blood, but he won't talk to me. So it probably has something to do with my cousin that I work with. There's been some tragedy in our family and a breakup in our act. I did become friends with her again, but we recently had a falling out. Perhaps we'll be friends again. I don't know. So, hi, Carol. I have to make this public because I want to heal this problem. And Pat Gabriel, he's a shit boss at the Win. I don't know what that is, but I was talking to Mary, your wife. I met you guys when they came out. We helped you. We got you in places, if you remember. And I was always friends with you. So, you know, he's had two sons that are in their 25, 30 range. Wow. That I've never met. And one of them is named Christopher Michael, I believe.
Oh,
that's
wow.
my name. And my cousin, Carol's son, Christopher Michael, unfortunately, there was a tragedy. He committed suicide in 1989.
My condolences.
Thank you. He was a beautiful man. He didn't even make 21. And he said strange things like, he got married early and said, I wanted to see what marriage was like. Almost like he knew he wasn't going to be here. And so, push came to shove. He had terrible conflict in his life. And unfortunately, I tried everything I could to help him. I not only lived with him, was like his older brother, kind of, you know, somebody to watch over him, guardian. I loved him, mainly I gave him love and help. And he actually had tragedy upon tragedy. Oh, celebration. Oh my God. Fireball. Cheers. I love Fireball. Cheers. Salute. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful evening.
I love Fireball. So, thank you so much. So, this is a problem I think is, my Uncle Frank died of heartbreak 6 months later. My cousin Christopher Michael Crawford, I did his eulogy. And I was an outreach minister at the time, so it was perfectly up my alley. In fact, the funeral director said it was the most moving, compelling speech he's ever seen in his career. That was such an honor.
And that just seems to be the kind of person you are. Just very outspoken, very compassionate, very, very loving. I can tell you got a huge love for humanity. And
thank you.
I'm glad to have had you on this show.
Yes.
I know Lucid is glad to have had you on the show.
Yes, thank you, Lucid. Thank you, Tinman.
I know I speak for Lucid in saying that we definitely look forward to working with you, especially as your executive film director.
Such an honor, yes.
And thank you again for this. Definitely. And I thank you again for
this is an Academy Award winner right here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So get your acceptance speech ready.
I'll do that, but
get ready.
But for now, I think we've kind of gone over. We're like an hour and a half in.
Thank you for watching us.
Chris, again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in, watching this long-ass spiel. My name's Tinman, and on behalf of Lucid, if you're watching this, you are the resistance.